What's up, Roland Ricardo's family? What's up, Gator Nation? In today's video, we're going to go ahead and cover two offensive line targets that Florida is in a strong position for as of right now. But before we go ahead and I'll start reading the article and then give you my thoughts and do a breakdown on one of them because the other one I already covered in a previous video, I am going to read to you a fact. The Florida Gators women's cross-country team, track and field teams were named the Terry Crawford Program of the Year by the USTFCCCA for the 2023-2024 season. So basically, they got one of the highest awards in track and field in 2023-2024 season, and that was the women's track and field team. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and read this article by my favorite writer from Strong 24/7, Tyler Harden, and it's called Intel 2 Offensive Line Targets that Florida is in strong position for right now. Florida is still looking to add to its offensive line after landing 3 commitments at that position, and sources tell Strong 24/7 that the two targets are trending more to Florida than others. Here's the latest intel on both targets. The position Florida has seen the most action with on the recruiting trail has been the offensive line for the class of 2027. In addition, at the position, its first addition at the position was a big one, 5-star interior offensive lineman Axwell Hiller. The Gators then landed 4-star interior offensive lineman Peyton Miller and 4-star offensive lineman Elijah Hutchinson in the weeks to follow. Florida is still looking at its offensive line, and sources tell Strong 24/7 that 2 targets trending more to Florida than others. 4-star tackle Kennedy Jackson and 4-star offensive tackle Timmy Aloo. Both will be on campus this summer for official visits, but the Gators are in a strong position for both going into those visits. Psalm 24/7 caught up with both targets, and here's the latest on Jackson and Aloo. Jackson was an interesting offer from the Gators this offseason after they offered him as both an offensive lineman and defensive lineman. However, the staff sees him more as an offensive tackle at the next level, given the size at 6'6", 297 pounds. In his time getting to know offensive line coach Phil Troutwine, the development he can get from Troutwine's coaching has allowed Florida to stand out in his process. He shows me what he plans to do with me as far as getting me better, Jackson told Swan 24/7. Troutwine has been in frequent contact with the 4-star, but Jon Sumrall has been recruiting Jackson as well. Sumrall often tells him that there's big expectations for the 2027 class at Florida, and that the class would be much better with him in it. That this 2027 class is a big rebuild class for them. They need me to be a part of it, Jackson said of Summerall's message to him. Sources tell Strong 24/7 that Jackson is a top target on the offensive line for Florida's 2027 class, but his recruitment remains competitive going into the summer. 2 schools to keep an eye on alongside the Gators are both Georgia and LSU, and the Bulldogs have been a team to beat as of late, especially with Jackson being an in-state prospect. Aloo, like many of Trautwein's main targets on Florida's offensive board, wasn't a recruit that he recruited while at Penn State. However, sources tell Strong 24/7 that the Gators have made significant strides towards the top in Aloo's recruitment. Trautwein made a trip to Aloo's hometown in Locust Grove, Georgia, last week, which was the first time he met with Trautwein since mid-March. While Aloo also sees the development piece from Trautwein, what stands out to him most is the relationship aspect, just the relationship part of it. I know a lot of coaches, they think about what you can do for them, but not think of you as a person. I think that's where Coach Trautwein really excels. Aloo told Strong 24/7, he really thinks about you as a person, not just a football player. Within that energy from Florida staff has been prevalent to Aloo, and he felt that the atmosphere the staff has built is one he can see himself in. I've always loved seeing the competitive energy, Alou said. They're seeing that everybody, they're seeing that in everybody, not just the players, but the staff and then also the recruits as well. It was a lot of fun. Like Jackson, Alou also hears from Sumrall as well, and his approach has also stood out to the 4-star. He doesn't try to sugarcoat anything. He lets everybody know what he thinks, what you want to, what you, what he thinks, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. So I really like that about him, Alou said. Alou is set to take a official visit this summer to Florida on June 4th, Georgia June 12th, and Nebraska June 19th. A source tells Strong 24/7 that Florida's biggest competition in Alou's recruitment is Nebraska, but the Gators have positioned themselves well nonetheless. All right, guys. I'm gonna play some tape for you guys, but the main one I'm gonna focus on is uh, Kennedy. I'm gonna break down a little bit of Kennedy. I think I did some for Kennedy before, but I'm gonna break down 2 or 3 clips. Then I'm gonna also let you guys watch Timmy Aloo, but I'm not gonna break down Timmy Aloo because I already did a video previously on Timmy Aloo. But you will see the highlights of both in this video. Give me a second. He's a big boy. He's a man among boys. Likes to run over, literally run over the defensive edge, and gets to the second level very easily. At least in high school, but he's running over. Yeah, he just bulldozes over them. Also loves to pancake. Yeah, he just keeps pushing to the second level. Has a nonstop motor, and this is Kennedy Jackson. Has to work on his hand movement and technique a little bit, but and he's a good run, opens up holes big time. I can see why the Gators recruited him both on both sides, but he's a good offensive tackle and plays good on defense also. On offense, loves to get to the second level and pancake people. All right, guys. I'm going to let you watch Timmy Aloo and Kennedy Jackson, the rest of the tape of Kennedy Jackson, because I've broken down a couple plays for you. But I'm gonna also include the highlights for Timmy Aloo, so you guys can refresh your memory on Timmy Aloo. But like always, I appreciate your support, and I appreciate the activity down in the comment section, guys. We're almost monetized, so I can open up memberships for you guys. We're almost monetized for the first part. So once the first part of monetization happens, I will create the memberships for you. But if you guys want to support the channel, hit the like button, share this video out for people to enjoy, so we can continue to grow the Rolling with Carlos family. Guys, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. We're already at 1,602 subscribers. But if you want to support the channel even more, besides sharing and liking the videos and commenting, you can also support the channel so we can continue to do videos for you and keep the lights on the channel, and eventually bring you more merch and possible sponsors to this channel that you guys would like. You can also currently, until we get monetized, go to the Rolling with Carlos merch shop, and purchase merch. Any piece of merch you like there, whatever you like. There's a bunch of merch right now, and we will continue to produce merch as things and ideas come up. But like always, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Gators.
You're part of the fam, now enjoy the